stuck here. The cops won't bother me. Yeah, I got some wheelie boys in front of me on dirt bikes doing wheelies. You see those guys? That is cool. No helmet, nothing. I wonder where they're going. Look at that. Man, that guy's doing a wheelie pretty well for a while. Go ahead, do the wheelie, man. Oh, they're letting people by. I think they're on 50s. There's the dirt bike, guys. 3.5 gallon, $7. Oh, look, the wheelie boys. The wheelie boys. Here they are. I think they're going to go to the Laurel Pits. Ah, man, they're going slow. What the hell? This bike is rock steady at highway speeds. You know, I'm kind of coming around to the noise of the bike. The bike actually sounds fantastic. It doesn't sound fantastic when it's kind of just on the highway and stuff. But when you give it gas, man, that bike is really good. Look at that thing. Here's another bike. Hey, a GS. Beautiful, overlooking the Sugarloaf Mountain. Sugarloaf Mountain. This is it. We're gonna make a right. We're actually gonna go straight and then we'll double back because I want to get to Poolsville. A lot of cyclists come here. I don't think I've ever bicycled around here, but it looks pretty good for cycling. Oh, there's a KLR 650. Look at that. That's a neat. Triumph. There's like a Zero over there. Zero DSR. That's pretty neat. Huh. Oh, that's a new Zero. That is pretty neat. Now we're heading towards White's Ferry, and White's Ferry is kind of interesting because you can take the ferry over to Virginia, and I think it's only a few dollars. It's a rickety ass trail, like ferry. Oh shit. I think that lady went over to the grass and there's like a dip, and we've had some rain, so she's probably gonna have to get towed out. Stop. I think the guy in the pickup truck stopped. I don't think it was an accident. I think he just stopped to help. We're approaching White's Ferry. To the right over here is the CO Canal. I've actually ridden from DC all the way to Pittsburgh on the CO Canal on a bicycle. And if you look over there, you'll see what's called the towpath. There used to be a railroad that they paved. Actually, they didn't pave. They just put gravel on it. Yeah, towpath right here. Welcome to historic White's Ferry. And you see there's a lot of people here bringing their kayaks, and really good place to come and chill out. Everybody's got their boats and riding here. Since we're not going to be going there, I want to show you probably one of the few gravel roads in this area. This douche. Look at that mud puddle. This is going to be kind of interesting because it's gravel, but I have traction control on, so yeah, look at that. If you look over here and I give it gas, that's really interesting. The traction control is working and it's sliding, but it's not letting me slide, so I think it's kind of funny, but I am kind of sliding a little bit. So you have to be careful because this area, they do have cars and they do use this too. So wow, it doesn't let me slide. That's funny. So I'm going to downshift because on my V-Strom I came here on the V-Strom and KLR and everything. So okay, notice the light over there. Give it gas. look at that. I started sliding a little bit, and then it completely went on. Okay, so check it out. Oh, I have ABS. Yeah, traction control modes you push over here. Now I'm on traction control 2. So let's see. Oh yeah, way more tire slide. Way more tire slide, guys. That's actually very approachable. That's a very approachable tire slide. So traction control 2 is a little bit nicer because you can still slide around the gravel, but it kind of controls it a little bit more, so it's not going to let the wheel completely slide. All right, now as an experiment, I was very curious about that. You push and hold this, and now I have traction control off and I have sport on, so now you see my light is on. Whoa, it does slide quite a bit. Oh yeah, so now traction control is off completely, and you have to definitely watch out for throwing rocks at people. We're so close to DC. I've always known about this. You know, at a certain point, I think I found this thing on my KLR 650. You know, the KLR is actually perfect for exploring roads slowly. So, look at that. I'm on the wrong gear, but let's see. Alright. Oh yeah, that's like, damn. It's just completely sliding like crazy. So that's traction control off, guys. I am not quite sure I recommend traction control off, but I think if you're going to be doing wheelies and stuff like that, you need it off. And I think it just gives you the most amount of fun that you can possibly do. Oh, good, he's letting me pass. Alright, I'm going to switch it to 1 because I want to see how it behaves. The traction control on the street is rather weird. Okay, so traction control 1. I'm in first gear. Oh yeah, it still slides, but it's like it's as if it's holding you back. It's a strange feeling, but this is probably the mode that you should be on the street. Traction control 1 gives you the most amount of traction control, and then in traction control 2 you have a little bit less traction. See, look at that. I can still slide it, that's the thing. Yeah, look at that. I slide it quite a bit. But because this bike is so powerful, it just spins all the time. So I'm going to put it on 2. Look at how cool this is. You know, I'm glad that they still have farms near DC. Oh yeah. Jesus. It slides pretty easy though. It definitely feels much more powerful and much more normal and natural, not having that traction control. Oh, by the way, traction control is great for people who complain about grass clippings. The bike actually sounds amazing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. My rear tires just slid like nutty. 1 foot sideways. That was a little... People are out enjoying themselves out in parks. Eesh. Oh, now I'm gonna have to clean this thing up. Great. I wonder what's over here. It's like a wildlife thing. Wonder how touring mode works with traction control off. Yes. So it's kind of like having traction control on 1. It's like limiting. Yeah, guys, the Super Tenere is pretty interesting. And the traction control thing, I learned a lot about it. So traction control 1 means that it gives you the most amount of traction for gravel, or actually that's the one that should be in street riding most of the time. I think you'll be faster in mode 1 because it does all the necessary calculations not to spin your rear tire. Mode 2, you basically get less traction control but still manageable. So I think if you're a better rider, put it in 2 on the street and on the gravel. So Mode 2 is actually pretty darn good for gravel riding because it limits your tire spin a little bit and it still lets you spin and ride a little bit more aggressively and more spirited. And traction control off, that is kind of balls out. I don't want any of the calculations, and I think you're going to be a slower rider for having traction control off. So in a way, traction control 1 is going to be an all-around sort of system for riding. Traction control 2 if you're a better rider, and traction 3 or traction control off is you're a great rider, you like balls deep sort of riding, and you went to the Gas School of Riding. That's the one you should be using. I think for me, I'll go with 2 because it's a little bit of both. But you know, I got the crash bars. This bike's kind of a handful for riding off-road, but you know, I don't mind it. It's actually quite good for riding off-road. See, look at that. I started the bike back up and it is going to traction control 1. So it defaults you into traction control 1, which is a little bit frustrating because you're going to keep forgetting to adjust your traction control. Well, anyway, guys, that's a little bit of an off-road excursion with the Tenere. Oh, excuse me, Super Tenere, as the cool kids say, the Super 10. I like to call it just Tenere, you know, Super, so whatever. Anyways, thanks for riding with me. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Hey, I guess they're right. Senior citizens, although slow and dangerous behind the wheel, can still serve a purpose.